Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala ahlihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to level 2 of the New Muslims class. Today we're going to answer two questions, inshallah. Two questions, right? The first one is, should I make New Year resolutions? Should I make New Year resolutions? So this one, because we just passed New Year, right? So a lot of people have New Year resolutions. So should I make New Year resolution? Okay, before we do anything in Islam, I think last week we talked about this. This brother know. We have to be sincere first. First of all, sincere, like you have to check your intention. What are you doing this for what? You are doing this for what? You want to make a New Year resolutions for what? Are you doing this because everyone else is doing it? Everyone has this New Year celebration. Okay, I have New Year resolution. If that is the case, then not so good lah. Because as a Muslims, whenever you want to do something, you have to check your intention. Your intention is supposed to be meant for who? For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to make whatever you want to do becomes an ibadah. Remember just now we talked about worship Allah doesn't just pray 5 times a day. Every single thing that you do in a daily basis, it can be an ibadah if you have the right intention to do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, if you want to make an intention to improve yourself, to become a better Muslim, for example, you want to do something which can get you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or make yourself better to achieve paradise, or to quit something which will bring you further from hellfire, then this is good. You should do it. Right? You should do it. You should make this New Year resolution. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to improve ourselves, to make a daily resolution, in fact. He told us that whoever man tasaya yawmanhu fahuwa makbun. He said, whoever his 2 days, yawmanhu, 2 days, is equal, is the same, then he is a loser. Fahuwa makbun. He is a loser. What does it mean? It means if your yesterday is the same as today, you are at loss. Meaning you did not, you have wasted 1 day not improving yourself. You see, this is a daily resolution, in fact. So the Prophet ﷺ has set even a higher benchmark for all of us. New Year's resolution, senang already. Easy, but the Prophet ﷺ set a higher benchmark. He raised the bar for all of us, challenged all of the Muslim to improve ourselves in a daily basis. So our today has to be better than yesterday. We cannot be doing the same old thing. Sama aja. So try to improve yourself every day. So if you want to make a New Year resolution, you may do so. The question is, how to make a New Year resolution? Not, should I make a New Year resolution? How? Because many people make New Year resolution. What happened after that? After 1 month, what happened? After 1 month? What resolution? What resolution? Forgot already. Correct or not? Right? they give up just like that. Correct or not? So the question is, how do you make a New Year resolution that you can keep and complete it and achieve it by the year end? That is the question. So the Prophet ﷺ also gave us guideline. He told us, he said, do whatever you can do. Meaning don't put something that you cannot achieve. Do whatever you can do. And indeed, the best of the deeds in the eye of Allah is the deed that is consistent. Do it regularly, even though it's small. Even though it's small. Even though it's small. But do it regularly, don't stop. So this is a very good guideline for all of us if you want to set a New Year resolution. Right? There are people said, my New Year resolution this year is to go to the space. Whoa! How? Right? Even though you can go to the Richard Branson's jet, you can buy a ticket and go lah. But the Maybank account only have 500 ringgit. How to go? So don't make something that you cannot achieve. Or something that is big. Once you achieve, that's it. Make something that you can do every day. We talk about this 2 days equal loser, right? So make something that you can do every day so that you can improve yourself every day. But it's small. Like what? Like what? Like for example, I want to finish reading this book. Then you said, I'm going to read 2 pages a day. Every day. Then by year end, you finish the book. Correct or not? Can you do 2 pages? Yes. And inshallah, by the year end, when you finish a book, it develops a habit. And today, I think you can Google, the research have done that if you continuously do something for a certain period of time, I forgot what that period, then it becomes a habit. Then you have to do it already. You get addicted. But get addicted to do good deeds, to do something good. Because you can actually get addicted to do something good. Do you know that? Because similarly, you can get addicted to do something bad. You can also get addicted to do something good. There are people, for example, they are used to doing the morning supplications, the morning dhikr, the morning and evening dhikr. That is the dhikr that the Prophet ﷺ used to do. Every Fajr, after Fajr, he would recite some dua. And then after Asar, he would recite some dua. And if you're used to doing that, suddenly there's one day that you didn't do, you'll be like, you feel like, really uncomfortable. The whole body like, not comfortable. You see, this is the addiction. There's addiction. So try to do something good and get addicted to it. So do something small. Do something small. Maybe you want to say, I want to read the Quran. Right? New Muslims here, you want to read the Quran. I want to learn how to read Quran. So get a sheikh, get a teacher to teach you how to read Quran. But maybe just spend 15 minutes only. Every day, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Just read some A, I, U, Ba, Bi, Bu, Ba. It's okay. 15 minutes every day spent. Oh, because I'm very busy. Everyone is busy. Everyone is busy. Everyone is busy. Not just you. Okay? So, give yourself some time. 15 minutes, I'm sure you can spare. Correct or not? Just now we break 10 minutes. How many people spend 10 minutes to do something good? Or go your Facebook. Right? So 10 minutes, just pass, just like that. Never come back one, Never, you cannot undo one. So, take something that you can achieve. You definitely can find spare time. Definitely. Think about, I travel to work by train. I have 20 minutes in the train. So what do you do in the train? So, do something. So, if you want to set a New Year resolution, set something that you can do. Even losing weight. I want to lose weight. But do it for the sake of Allah so that you get healthier, so that you can perform salat better, so that you can do more things, you can spend more time with your children, spend more time with your family members, whatever. Because when you're fat, you're lazy, right? Correct or not? When you're fat, yeah. Your children want, hey, papa, go play ball. You play yourself lah. Why? Because you're fat. So you want to lose weight. When you lose weight, you get it to the healthy body, you become active again, correct? You are not you're not easily annoyed also, right? Not easily agitated. So do it for the sake of Allah. Don't do it because you want to look good. You want to show off. Take Instagram of your muscle. Don't. Do it for the sake of Allah. You want to do it because you want to have a healthy body, so that you can worship Allah in a better manner, in the manner that He deserves to be worshipped. And same thing, do something small. Or every day, I'm going to start with maybe walking 5,000 steps a day. Right? Don't stay, first day I want to 10,000 steps already. Then at the end of the day, only 5,000. Cannot. Tomorrow don't do lah. So do something small. 2,000 maybe, 5,000, then slowly 6,000, 7,000, 1 month later, then 3 months later you achieve 10,000. Then after that 10,000 becomes easy for you. Right? People who are good at, losing weight, this 10,000 steps thing, 10,007 kilometer, right? Do something like this. Then slowly you will see your body changes. Wallahi, seriously, you will see. If you continuously do something small and regularly, you will see after a few months, you will see changes in your life. You will see changes. If you're trying to lose weight, you will see 3 months later, wow, wait, hey, how come the pants keep dropping down? Keep dropping. Yes. Right? Same thing if you want to learn a language. Perhaps you will say, I want to learn a language. This year, my New Year resolution is I want to learn Mandarin, the most difficult language in the world. Mandarin, seriously, is the most difficult language in the world. Because I know Mandarin, I know. So, you want to learn, go ahead, but learn slow. If you can commit 15 minutes, there are so many apps nowadays, right? Download free apps. Maybe every day spend 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever time that you can give, right? But make sure you can continue. So this is how you should set a New Year resolution. Set a good one and make sure by the year end you can achieve it. Make plans, right? You can definitely do that, and in fact it is highly encouraged for us to do so. I mentioned just now, don't let 2 days pass by where you did not improve yourself. Right? So if you have a yearly plan, you can make a daily plan. Then every day you will improve yourself. Yesterday I read 2 pages, today I read 2 pages, total 4 pages already. See? Right? Like this. Correct or not? So you will be able to improve yourself. And inshallah, by the year end, you will see yourself getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the first question. Any questions from the floor before I move on to the second question? Any questions from internet also? Before I move to the second questions. So make sure you have the right intention. Do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't just simply do it for praise. That people just... Any questions? Very good lah, this crowd. Very kind. I love this crowd. Can next week come back, please. No questions? I ask. I ask. Okay. Anyone has New Year resolution? Don't have. Don't want to improve. Or quit already. Don't have. So set a New Year resolution, or set a daily resolution. For those who have not prayed 5 times a day, set a target. I want to pray 5 times a day this year. Or those who have praying late, for example, tell yourself, I want to pray on time this year. I want to make sure I pray on time. For those new Muslim, I want to memorize another surah, for example. Just one, another small surah. Small surah like Surah Baqarah. That's all. Ah. Right? Very long, man? Very long. Very long, man? I don't know. One surah enough. Surah Baqarah. Right? Not very difficult one. Right? Said something that I myself, I tell you, the way I did it is I use Ramadan as my checkpoint. I always, before I enter Ramadan, I always look back. Was my last Ramadan better or this Ramadan better? What have I improved? I always ask myself. Or if you can quit something also. Oh, you have been a smoker, for example. I want to quit smoking this year. If you are very good in, gossiping, tell yourself, I want to stop gossiping. If you're very good in, reading Instagram, spend all the time, you say, I want to reduce. Okay, I don't want to say delete. Say reduce the time. Reduce the time. Cut some time. Cut 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then you will see when you have this spare time, you will do something else, right? So when you don't waste your time, then you will get to do more things. So these are the things. So either way, pick something you want to do, or you pick something you want to quit, or both, even better. Okay? Can or no? Can, questions, finally got question already. Bismillah.
The problem with resolutions is consistency. Being consistent. How does one be consistent, say, praying on time every day, every surah, every salah?
Okay, so the sister has a question. The problem with the new resolution is consistency, right? So, but specifically, she asked about, let's say, how should I pray on time? How should I pray on time? Consistently for all prayers. Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, all right. That is a very difficult question, actually. Yes, because everyone try to achieve that. Everyone, including myself. It's not easy because we work, right? Sometimes you are at the office and then you have meeting. How do you pray on time, right? So the trick here is, it is when you are free, are you doing it? Not when you are busy. If you are busy, you are excused, right? You don't pray on time. For example, you are a mother and your child needs milk and you are breastfeeding him. So how can you pray on time? Correct or not, right? Or you are at work, you are in the meeting. Azan you can, sorry, I go pray first. It's not feasible, right? But it is when you are free, like during the weekend. Do you pray on time? Or do you like, relax je lah, relax? So this is a question you have to ask yourself. So we want to do the best that we can. So things that you are in control, the time that when you are in control, do you do it? Or do you still leng-leng, you still like, never mind lah, better lah. Or you want to go to cinema, for example. You want to watch Spider-Man. Anyone watch Spider-Man idea? Anyone? Not yet. Maybe you want to watch Spider-Man. Are you going to choose the time that is going to be, at the prayer time? Or you're going to choose the time that is not going to be the prayer time? So that you will still be prayed on time. So these are you have to ask yourself, right? So do something that always put prayer as your number one priority. We plan our activities around prayer time, not the other way around. Not let prayer time plan around our activities. You understand? So we should plan. So if you're at the office, you are the one who organizes a meeting. Are you going to organize at the time that is Zohor prayer, for example? Or you're going to organize after Zohor? If you are the organizer. Right? Oh, I'm going to have a meeting today with my team. Let's do it at 1:30. Baru Zohor lah. Right? Do it at 2 lah. pray first, correct or not? Or do before 1 o'clock, correct or not? So plan our activities around the prayer time so that we always have the highest opportunities or chances to pray on time. Understand? Boleh tak? So that's how we should do it. It is a tough one, right? So we have activities, right? So it's not like we can do it. So try your best. That's how I normally do it. Always organize your activities around the prayer time. And as a true believer, you should always aware of the prayer time also, because prayer times changes, right? So be aware. So always check before you want to do anything. Hey, what time? What time solat? Check first. Check first. Okay. Very good question. Any other questions before we move on to the second questions? The boy is very quiet. Boy is always the imam, so imam of course knows lah. Correct. Correct. No questions? Any questions from the internet? No. Also, internet very good. How many students from? 16. MashaAllah. Okay, so if there's no questions, we can come back also if you think of any questions after that, right? So we move on to the second question first. Can I wear hijab sometimes and not all the time? Okay, so that means, can I wear hijab sometimes? If you don't plan to go out, tak apa lah, stay at home. Okay, first of all, I need to clarify this because many maybe not yet Muslim here, they don't understand. The covering of aurah means the private parts, right? It is commanded for both male and female, actually, not just the female. The difference is the private parts, right? For the male, we also have to cover ourselves. That's why you don't see the Muslims men wear shorts, because we are supposed to cover our private parts. Our private parts, from the belly button to the knee. So we wear long pants, and we also wear loose clothes. You don't wear tight clothes, because that it will reveal your body, your shape of the body. For the woman, the private parts are different. The private parts, it's explained by the Prophet ﷺ. The whole body is the private parts, except that you can expose to the public is the face and the palms. That's all, right? So that is how you cover your aura. And again, same thing, wearing loose clothes. Some people, they cover everything but very tight. Oh, tight, very tight. Cannot. Have to be loose clothes also, because then you cannot see the shape of the body. And this is only covered when you are in front, or you are among the non-mahram. Non-mahram means the people whom you cannot marry to. The people whom you can marry. Meaning the strangers. So in front of your father, you don't have to cover your aura. In front of your brothers, you don't have to. Because can you marry your brother? Cannot. Can you marry your father? Cannot. So in front of the people whom you cannot marry to, you don't have to cover. But that doesn't mean you can be naked in front of them. You understand? So you still have to cover the minor private body parts. The major private parts you still have to cover. Right? So this is the basis I have to mention first. Right? So then come back to the questions. Can I wear hijab sometimes? So meaning sometimes what? Like what? Like we go to classes, you wear. Don't go classes, you woohoo! Like that. So I guess that's the question now, right? Of course, I think the person who asked this question, she knows, right? She knows that covering yourself, it is compulsory, actually. You know. That's why I ask, can I do that sometimes? It's like asking, can I pray sometimes? When one of the great scholars in our modern times was asked, Imam Yusuf Al-Qadarawi, he was asked this question, is wearing the hijab, or, is this wajib? When he was asked this question, he was shocked. He said, how is this a question? Hada ma'lum. He said, this is ma'lum. Ma'lum means, this is well known. This is well known. Known even among the disbeliever. It's like you don't ask, is pork haram? Even the disbeliever knows. But the non-Muslims know. Pork is haram. It's hada ma'lum. This is known. So, if this is already known, then of course, the quick answer is no. So again, the question is how do you cover yourself? How can you make yourself, convince yourself to do this? Deliberately, do this regularly, do this religiously. How can you convince yourself? So that is the question. How do you do it? So I guess the first thing is you need to strengthen your Iman, your belief. You need to strengthen your Iman. How to strengthen your Iman? You need to get to know who is Allah. That's the first thing you need to know. You need to study about Allah. Who is Allah? Learn about Allah. If you know about Allah very well, then you will obey Him. You will obey Him. You will know whatever He asks us to do, it is for us, not for Him. He will not get any reward. He's already great. He is Allahu Akbar. He's the greatest. If we don't obey Him, we don't worship Him, He will not become lesser. No, He is always the greatest. Always. So whatever He asks us to do, it is for us. It is for us. So for Him to command us, for the man to cover and for the woman to cover, it is meant for us. Meant for us. It's good for us. First of all, so that you can identify who is man and woman. Just like we are commanded to keep our beard. Woman can never grow a beard. Can you grow a beard? Right. It's the identity of a man. Today, subhanallah, some men, when you look at him, man or woman, correct not? Man or woman? He or she. Men look like woman. Right? So same thing. The first thing is to, so that you can be identified from far, people can tell, oh, there's a woman coming. Right? So if you understand Allah, you know Allah, you understand the command, why, the wisdom behind why He commanded us to do this, then it will make it easier for you to do it. You will make it easier. The belief must be there first. The tawheed must be there. Must try your best to know Allah. The one who commanded us to do. Must know. You must know Him. Try to spend, as a new Muslim, try to spend most of your time to understand Allah in the beginning of your reversion to Islam. That is very important. To have a very strong foundation. Then all the do's and the don'ts will come very easy. Very, very easily. Very, very easily. And because we came from the non-Muslims background, so I'm sure, just like many of us here, you have something which is haram activities, right? It's very difficult to quit immediately. Or if you have been drinking, suddenly you become Muslim and you want to stop. Oh, come on. My blood flow alcohol, right? Hello. You want me to quit, then I die, my blood. So for the born Muslim also here, must understand the reward, right? Give them time. So understand them. It's not easy. It's not easy. Just like when you are a born Muslim, you pass by a pork place, also you are whole life never eat pork. You smell the pork, also like you want to vomit already. For the reverts, only Allah knows how we enjoy pork. Correct or not? Right? So, for us to be able to quit one of these things or do what Allah asks us to do, you must spend most of your time understand Allah. Learn about Tawheed, for example. Learn about the principles of Tawheed. Learn about who is Allah, His attributes. Right? Just now we talk about Surah Al-Fatiha. We talk about He's the Rabbul Alameen. Understand Him. When you understand Him thoroughly, you understand Him deeply, you will, I guarantee you will want to worship Him. You will have the urge to want to worship Him. Then you will know, oh, He really deserves to be worshipped. When you finish a prayer, you look forward to the next prayer already. You'll be like, oh, when is the next salah? Like that already. You'll be like this. Like when I become Muslim from the early days, very difficult to wake up in the early morning to pray, especially Saturday, Sunday. We used to sleep until noon, right? Very difficult. But when I got to know about Allah, when I study about Tawheed, I learn about Aqidah, I learn about the belief, I learn about Allah. I wake up myself. I told myself, I said, if Allah gives me 24 hours a day, I cannot give Him 2 minutes. 2 minutes also cannot do. Fajr prayer, how long it takes? 2 minutes. Correct or not? Okay lah, give you 1 more minute to take wudu lah. Right? Cannot give. Very stingy like that. Right? So, believe, wake up, pray. You will taste the sweetness of Iman. So you must understand, you must learn about Allah. Learn to know Him. Truly understand Him. You can never love someone without knowing that someone. Correct or not? Someone who have in love, know lah. Right? How can you love someone you don't know? Right? You will in love with someone because you know. So you will in love with Allah if you know Him well. You know Him, you will want to worship Him. Guarantee. You will automatically, you read the Quran, you hear there's a command, you want to do it. You see there's a prohibition, you want to stop. You want to do it. You want to do it. You said, oh, I want to do. So that's how you should convince yourself. I want to hijab all the time, not sometimes. Islam is not part-time. Islam is full-time. Every day of our life. We need Allah every day, every second. Even blinking our eyes, we need Allah. Who can say we don't need Allah? Nobody. Right? So we need Allah. So Islam is not part-time, it's full-time. So try your best. It's not easy. This can be a New Year resolution. Whoever asked this question, New Year resolution. So if you learn about Allah, after a while, you will see yourself change. Seriously, I've gone through that experience. I've walked through that journey. I know. I know. You will become a different person. Any questions? Easy one only. No difficult one. Any questions from the internet? Oh, there's one question.
Okay, the question from online is, what about the niqab? What is the ruling for wearing the niqab?
What is the what, sorry?
Niqab. Okay.
The ruling of niqab. Oh, this one controversial. I don't plan to talk about this. Okay? Because this is a new Muslims class. But anyway, suffice to say that there are differences in opinions. Okay, so those who follow the opinion, you can do it. Okay, otherwise it's okay. So it's a difference of opinions, niqab. Right? So we don't have to go into details because the person is asking, belum lagi even hijab. So, let's not talk about niqab first. So I hope that answers her questions. Okay. Any other easier questions? Okay, easy one, yeah. Walaikum salam.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So brother, may I know, like, as a new revert, how to navigate like Chinese New Year, and like, is it okay for me to accept the ang pao from other people?
Okay, it's a very good question, even though it's a different question. The sister is asking, I assume you are Chinese, right? So as a revert, Chinese revert, can we celebrate Chinese New Year? Is that, can we accept ang bao from families and friends, right? Okay. Again, another controversial questions. But never mind, I'm a Chinese, I can handle it. Chinese New Year. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the basis of celebrations first, okay? The basis of celebrations in Islam, there are only two celebrations for us, okay? There are only two celebrations. Normally, other people only one, but we got two. So, which is good lah. We have the Eidul Fitr, and then we have the Eidul Adha. So we have two celebrations in Islam. Number one, the one that we celebrate after Ramadan. And then the second one is the celebrations during Hajj, okay, in Dhul Hijjah. So these are the two celebrations in Islam. That is the basis in celebrations in Islam, and which is also religious celebrations, right? It's religious. So coming back to other than these two, as a Muslims, we don't participate. We don't participate because we are only commanded to celebrate these two celebrations. In the time of the Prophet ﷺ, it actually happened that they were passing by, the Prophet ﷺ passed by with the companions, and they saw a group of people celebrating something. Right? So the Prophet ﷺ asked, what are they celebrating? So the companion said, we used to celebrate that during, the non-Muslims time, during the Jahiliyyah time, the time of ignorance, meaning non-Muslims. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, indeed, Allah has replaced us with two celebrations, and this is what the two celebrations we just talked about, right? So from this hadith, it is clearly shows that there are only two celebrations in Islam. Because the Prophet didn't say, oh, really? Come, let's join them. Right? So he said there are only two. Allah has replaced with two. Replaced all the celebrations with these two celebrations. So when it comes back to Chinese New Year, if you really look into the history of Chinese New Year, it is actually a religious ceremony. It is not just a cultural ceremony. It's not a cultural celebration. It is actually a religious celebration. Because the first documented celebration, Chinese New Year celebration, was way back more than 3,000 years ago. It was celebrated by the Emperor of China. This is the first documented celebration. But we don't know whether before that there were even more. We don't know. But this is the first documented in the Chinese history. The Emperor of China would offer sacrifices to the ancestors and the gods of nature on the eve of Chinese New Year. The eve of, meaning the last day of the year. So that's what he would do. He would offer sacrifices to the ancestors and to the gods of nature. But it was only done by them, done by him, not by the public, meaning government event, government event. It was later on the public start to doing it. Later on, like 100 years later, a few hundred years later, the public started doing it. But they do it at home. Same thing, they would worship the ancestors. So today, actually, I don't know about you sisters. If you really go to the traditionalist Chinese family, during the reunion dinner, they would worship the ancestors, right? They would, because the Chinese used to be ancestors worshippers, right? And they would have, what do you call that? I also don't know what to say. All the ancestors at home. So they would, before they have the dinner, they would offer sacrifices offer the food to the ancestors first, or after the dinner. Either way, the reunion dinner, because the celebrations of Chinese New Year starts from the reunion dinner, and then they would stay up late night from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. to welcome the God of Fortune, the Cai Sen Ye, right? And that's why everyone would stay up. That is the time, the best time to welcome the God of Fortune, the Cai Sen Ye. The most afdal time lah, afdal masa, waktu mustajab, they call it. True, seriously, because actually the welcoming the Cai Sen goes until the first day of Chinese New Year, but the best time is 11 to 1. 11 to 1, and 11 to 1, because those days in China, the time is 12 time. One time equals to 2 hours. And between 11 to 1 is called 子时, right? That is the midnight time. And that is the time also they would make dumpling to eat. Why? Because dumpling in Chinese called 饺子. And the shape of the 饺子, the dumpling, looks like a very fat wallet. So 饺子, why 子? Because 子时, the time, that is the time. So during that time they would eat a lot of 饺子, hoping they would be able to welcome the Cai Sen to become fat wallet lah after that. And one of the things they do to welcome the Cai Sen is to decorate the home as red as possible, because they believe the Cai Sen will come to those who are very red color one. So they would decorate the home red, very red. Then they would also play the firecrackers, because the firecrackers, because they also believe the loudest home, the Cai Sen will come. So they would. Today, even the fireworks is banned, they will still play the music, right? Because it's about the loud and the red color. Then the Cai Sen will come. After 1 o'clock, then you can sleep. So starting from the eve of Chinese New Year, the religious ceremony already started. So it's not really a cultural ceremony. It's not a cultural celebration. It is a religious celebration. And then when it comes to day 1, day 2, I can go on and go on. We can talk about 1 hour, 2 hours. There are so many superstitious things that they do. All this is because to be rich, to get prosperity. They want to be prosperous. Yeah. Even from the lion dance. The lion dance is all about warding off evil. Giving ang pao is initially called ya sui qian. Ya sui qian means you slow down the aging process. So it is given from the parents to the children, so that they don't die early, basically. So meaning they would be able to have a healthy life, to ward off all these, illnesses and things like that. So today, of course, it's given. Today becomes a little bit different already. Now, the married people give to the non-married already. Started from the parents given to the children. So now it becomes married to the non-married. But can we accept ang pao? Yes, you can accept ang pao. Your parents want to give you, you take. Your relatives want to give you, you take. But you don't practice giving it. You don't. We don't participate. When we say we don't participate, the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever mimic a group of people, then he is from them. So we don't mimic this group. We don't mimic the group, especially when they are doing it for religious reason, not cultural reason. So we don't mimic that group. So we don't participate. We don't participate. You don't wear red, especially on the first day when everyone is wearing red because they want to ying cai shen, right? They want to welcome the cai shen, welcome the god of fortune. So I'm not saying wearing red is haram, but don't wear it on the first day of Chinese New Year. Wear it other day, because that is the day that everyone is trying to do that thing, trying to do that rituals. So if you wear that, it is as if you are from them. So we don't mimic them. So we try to do it after that, right? You want to visit your parents, you may do so. You may do so. By all means, you want to visit your parents during Chinese New Year, you want to visit your relatives, by all means. Because I understand, I am from Chinese background. Sometimes you don't get to see some of the relatives. You only see them during Chinese New Year. So by all means, you want to visit them, you visit them. All right? There are people who said, well, as long as we don't do the rituals, then we are okay to do it. But really, if you think about it, what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, I agree with you. As long as you can do, as long as you don't do the rituals. I agree. Then what can you do? Then I can definitely tell you, your relatives will tell you, hey, why are you not celebrating Chinese New Year? they will tell you, hey, why are you not celebrating Chinese New Year? They say, hey, but I'm here. Yeah, but you are here, but you're not celebrating. Like, we used to be with our family members, we sleep after Isha. They were waiting 11 to 1. Oh, waiting. We were like, next day we wake up Fajr and then, time for breakfast, they are still sleeping. We are not celebrating. So they will be like, hey, you are here physically, but really, you're not, you don't give ang bao. So you want to give, I can recommend you give to your parents. Then you go different, because the parents give to the children, you give to your parents. You give to your parents. That is good, correct or not? When is the last time you give money to your parents? So give to your parents. So I would say, I'm not saying it's easy as a Chinese revert especially to stay away from Chinese New Year. So you be respectful, be tactful. Don't be disrespectful. You try your best to be with them if you want to be with them, knowing that many relatives will only be around during that time, right? Because there are some relatives come back from overseas, right? Or from other kampong lah. Basically, let's say you go back to Penang, right? There are a lot of other relatives go back to Penang, right? So sometimes you only see them once in a year. You want to really catch up with them. You want to, have that kind of relationship. Then, by all means, right, do that. But don't participate in other rituals, right? Make sure the food is halal, of course, when you want to eat. And be careful also if they are drinking. There's a drinking session. They're like, so the Prophet ﷺ warned us, the one who believe in Allah and the Day of Judgment will not be among the people who are when the intoxicants are being consumed. You will not be there. So be careful when there is a drinking session, right? So be firm in your religion. I have gone through this journey, and I can tell you the long-term benefit is very good. They will respect you more because they know you become Muslims. You truly become Muslims. You did not just become Muslims for whatever reason, right? You really believe in your religion and you want to practice your religion. To the extent today, when I am around my family members, my not yet Muslim parents, they will respect me. They will behave themselves. They will only drink when I leave. Can you imagine that? They were waiting like, when are you going to leave? But it's okay. So we have to be firm what we want to. We have to be firm in our religion, so that they will also respect. Right? Like, oh, okay. And we respect them. We know they want to drink. We're like, okay, we go after Isha. Okay, we go. Bye. Right? Let them do what they want to do. Right? In return, we also obey Allah. So I hope I answer your question. Any other questions? No questions? No questions? Very good. So shall we stop? So if you have any questions, you can ask again after this, inshallah. If there is no other questions, we end the session. Subhanaka wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.